Thank you, Ms. Daigle and Mr. Esmond. Recognition of a special guest. Okay, we have with us Mr. Dennis.
Yes, sir.
Please stand. This is our new worker for the newspaper.
Yes, sir.
Glad to be on board.
How you doing?
Glad to have you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, roll call. District 1, Mr. Gene Malbrook.
Give me these glasses.
District 2, Ms. Joy Daigle.
Here.
District 3, Mr. Gary Dukeshan.
Here.
District 4, Mr. Dale Wembley.
Here.
District 5, Mr. Errol Como.
Here.
Police Chief, Mr. Albert Venable. Town Attorney, Mr. Brad Andrews.
Here.
Town Clerk, Mr. Todd Reshaw. Okay, first item on the agenda is the approval of the previous minutes, which was held on December 14th, 2017. In your packet, you will find the minutes. Comments? Any discussions or comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next item is the approval of the December 17th, 2017 financial statement. In your packet, you will also find the statements.
May I move that we accept the finance reports as read, had all afternoon to go through them, and I'll find no discrepancies, and I'd like for the council to go ahead and check on it.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Any comments or discussion? Any comments or discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay. Okay, number 4 is public comments on the agenda action items. Anyone in the public has any comments on the agenda action items?
One lady that's
No one?
You said there was one lady that signed up?
one lady that Sean looked.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
Go to the podium.
Well, my name is Maria Gardner, and I'm here on behalf of my cousin Alex Babineau, who was murdered on July 16, 2017. Not only myself, but my family as well. His mother, Leona Babineau, is sitting right here in the front. But I'm gonna be, I'm his voice, and whatever. And my questions are for the chief.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, Chief, my first question for you is, what is the status on the evidence that was sent off regarding Alex's case? Because on this month, on the 16th, it'll make 6 months, and we still haven't heard anything yet, or...
But the crime scene, there were several items that were picked up for, to be sent to the crime lab. And, our evidence, the paperwork from the crime lab has come in. And what we're gonna have to be doing now is re-interviewing everybody again. And hopefully that I can get the assistance from the state police this time, because, presently our investigators, working this, patrolling now.
Okay, and that was my next question.
Right.
See, were you gonna get help from the state trooper?
I'm
Because
gonna
we
ask for
spoke
help,
to them
yes,
and they
ma'am,
said
and,
that with your request that they could come out and help investigate this.
I'm gonna need help, I'll be honest with you.
Okay,
you know.
great.
And, hopefully, after the meeting, you and I can get together, get some information from you and, well, maybe we can get together, talk to them and get that help. Hopefully that, they can give us a hand on it. But everyone that was interviewed is gonna have to be redone again.
Okay, and my next question was, my final question was, do y'all have any leads or possible suspects? I know y'all can't give a name or anything.
We have a few, well, a couple of them that's person of interest, put it that way. We have some, and, that's why the evidence that was sent to the crime lab was sent with their DNA. And I won't disclose what the DNA brought back, but, like I said, all these people will be re-interviewed again, and hopefully I can, get the state police to give me a hand.
Okay, and my last question is, once you request help from the state trooper, what type of process is that and how long does that normally take?
Hopefully within a few days, but they have to get approval, you know, to be assigned. And, like I said, if we, maybe with y'all help, we could maybe get it faster, but everyone's gonna have to be re-interviewed.
Okay, well, that's fine. So after, this meeting is adjourned, you wanna meet outside the city hall and with his mom and his dad
Yeah.
and the rest? Okay.
That's no problem.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay? Thank you, ma'am. Okay, moving right along, Baylor Engineering,
He's on my hand. He's on my hand. I had my hand up, and you proceed by saying moving right along.
okay.
Venerable, have you ever asked for help in the past from the state? And if you did, how expeditiously were they in giving you that help?
Honestly, I've been here 28 years, I've never had to request that help. And I've worked, a couple of cases with the FBI, and it was a friendship help. In other words, where they just come and give me a hand. This case here, you know, well, I'm gonna get with the family after a while to explain, but, it's, I've spoke to a lot of people, you know, off the record, because, a lot of people don't wanna get involved, say anything or whatever, but, as far as I can remember, I don't think I ever had to call the state police for assistance.
Thanks.
But most of our cases, we know the suspect. Yeah, it's not just that we didn't need them, don't get me wrong. Is that a lot of times when you had something that happens, you know who it is. You have a witness or whatever.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'll
You're welcome.
apologize.
Right, all right.
I want to say something. I was one of the people that gave a statement and everything because I had the biggest lead and I still never received any phone calls from no one. I
Okay.
gave my address and everything. Nobody never came talk to me or anything.
Okay.
And I have a lot to say and I know a lot.
All right, what's the name of?
Bernicia Muto,
Okay.
you the one that brought me to the police station the day of it.
Yeah. But I appreciate you coming by.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. Moving on to the engineering report, Baylor Engineering. There's no action on the, report. Council members, you received this through an email. Okay, municipal department reports. Warrant Officer Dale Thibodeau, monthly and yearly ending report. That's good, right there.
I got two reports this month. We got the December report, which picked up 27 bench warrants. We collected $7,225.50 in bench warrant revenues. 3 bench warrants were recalled. 2 were incarcerated for their fine. They couldn't pay it, so they did their jail time. We did 4 drug cases completed, and we have 8 drug cases pending right now, pending arrest, and 7 citations. I'm gonna give you the yearly report for 2017. This is January 1 of 2017 to December 31st of 2017. We arrested 233 bench warrants. We brought in a total of $66,854. 196 traffic citations. We did 188 drug cases, and 31 warrants were recalled. We seized, total amount of drugs seized, we did 3 3/4 pounds of marijuana. We did 5 grams of heroin. We did 2,009 grams of methamphetamine, 120 grams of crack cocaine and cocaine mixed together, 93 grams of synthetic marijuana, and between ecstasy and assorted opiates, we took 585 doses off of the street. We seized from drug sales $24,508.40. Some of that's still pending, we haven't got that yet. And we took 10 guns off the street. Any questions?
Good job, Dick. Thank you.
Any one question?
Yeah, I have a quick question. The funds that are indicated that were acquired from the, like the marijuana, no, I'm sorry, that was the street value.
Yeah, that's street value.
Okay. The currency seized was 24,508,
24,500.
and that was for the year?
Yes.
Okay, so where will we find that reflected in the budget report, since that's revenue that's coming in?
We have gotten, well, not, this is what we seized. We don't get all of it.
So what portion,
we get
if any, do we get?
We get 60%.
So where would that 60% be reflected in the budget report?
Well, once we get it all, it's gonna be in, what is that, not revenue. It's gonna come in your narcotics report, because it's gonna go back to your narcotics.
Have we received anything yet?
Yes, we received total of probably about, I wanna say 15, we still got the rest pending, I think.
Some's pending, that would have been reported into last year.
Yeah, it had been in last year's report,
Is that 1,500 or 15,000?
15,000.
That
There
would
was
have been
about
reported.
15,000 that cleared, and we still have some pending for clearance.
It comes in increments, correct, Dale?
Yes.
Comes in increments.
And so where would it come from?
Okay.
Okay, got it,
So you can only use this money can only go back into the narcotics account, because it can only be used to fund narcotics, to
okay. Right,
fund other narcotics cases.
thank you, sir.
Any more questions? Thank you, David. Okay. Okay, police matters with Albert, report to the council.
Okay, one of the things here they have, for the parking for Mardi Gras. The Mardi Gras is coming up, and we try to set the same rules that we had last year. Be no parking on the vehicles or trailers down the parade route. And the open container law, I don't think it'll be relifted again. We're working on trying to get everything set up for Mardi Gras. It's gonna be a big day for us. And any questions on the Mardi Gras deal?
Brad, the ordinance will just fall back to fix, please, correct?
Now,
It's alive and well, same
What-
thing as
what-
last year.
one question that I have, at 6 to 6, we had, no one's parked down Main Street? From 6 a.m., that'd give time, for cleanup in the morning. You'll usually finish before 6, but, I think you had put it as from 6 to 6 to make sure that everything was correct and all.
Right, here's the order.
I've seen it.
So it's 6 to 6?
6 to 6.
Okay. Not on the, let's see. The Sound Tramp's gonna be, February the 3rd at 10 a.m. at the South Trent, there'd be a pre-registration for the floats and everything else. And if that's it on the Mardi Gras, I'd like to, our applications on officers are kind of depleted quite a bit, and I was asking to see if we could advertise to hire, to have some applications on file, at least 4 applications. It would just be advertised so we could have some, you know, in case someone would come up.
I don't think you need your motion for that. What we gonna do?
Applications for her
Yeah,
to do a
just to have
motion.
some ahead.
You don't need an ordinance.
You need approval, but I mean, when
Yeah.
when you hire, you hire, but not the application, so.
Alright,
Do what you gotta do.
alright. And that's about it, I think,
So February 3rd is the week before.
Sign up.
sign up, right, 10 o'clock in the morning for the floats. I don't think there'll be, the late comers that morning, I don't think they're built to, register. I'm not sure. We should be having a meeting pretty soon and, so we all on the same page and what we have.
This is when the council meeting.
The chief and I will be working together this month along with, Mr. Gibson to, kind of line up everything for Mardi Gras, and hopefully it will be a safe event. That's what we're looking for, making it a safe event for everyone that's in attendance. So we will be working, getting together and having meetings and deciding things and possibly putting things in the paper. And, hopefully everything will go well. Okay?
Last year, I'd like to say that we had probably one of the best Mardi Gras we ever had. We usually have around 30-some-odd thousand people in the city. And, we're able to handle it with the help from different departments, that come in and help us and we help them. But, hopefully this year will be another good year. Nobody gets hurt. That's my main thing is everyone has a good time and it's safe.
Okay. Moving along, thank you, Chief. Building code report, building code official, Mr. Rodney Richard.
I think, council, y'all have something that was put on y'all's desk, it's a general report that, Todd prepared, and I was kind of looked over it. I don't know if y'all want me to take time to go through every one of them, but if you have any specific questions, I'll be happy to answer them, but I think what the junk cars and stuff like that, they're gonna address that in a minute with the ordinance to help, speed that operation up. One that we had on, I just want to clear the one up, that on 126 Main, I did speak to her a couple of times. She was supposed to come in and speak to Todd concerning some possible grants. She hasn't followed up on that yet, so the statement that said we can issue fines, I'll make that a clarification that we make. I will be talking to her this coming week about what's her to do with that property, to try to speed that up a little bit further. But other than that, that's kind of where we're at.
Any questions? Council, any questions from us?
I just want to let y'all know what's going on with my building in town. That's going to be 146 South Main.
Right.
Well, because of the weather, we wasn't able to do too much on the outside. We've been working on the inside. And I got a crew that's supposed to be changing the roof, but we may have to follow the guideline we filed for a Historical Preservation Act through the state. And along with that, we filed for grants. In other words, I don't know what they'll let us do, but we're gonna continue doing what y'all want us to do. I mean, to get the building up to, I don't know what they're gonna let us do. Both of my buildings are we got approved under the historical, which I got the paperwork and stuff. I'm not sure what they're gonna let us do or what. I know it enables some of the ones that have buildings in town to have a 40% reduction or some type of tax write-off or whatever under the Preservation Act, which, I don't know.
I think the main thing, you know, while you're good that you're working with these people, but the main thing that we're looking for is loose metal,
Oh,
loose
yeah, but
tin, loose sheeting.
It
Because
was,
I've gotten a complaint just this afternoon about another building on Main Street where the tin
Yeah,
actually
well,
blew off.
well,
And that's what we wanted, safe.
it was supposed to start today, but then with the weather last night and then the weather, you know, and the holidays and all that, but we're addressing that issue regardless because of the president, you know, I don't know what they're gonna allow us to do with the preservation thing, but the roof is gonna be changed regardless.
The safety issues is what we're
Oh,
really
yeah.
pushing to try to get this loose metal from blowing off. That's
Well,
coming up hurricane season and stuff.
Yeah, this might open the door for other people,
Yeah.
which if we apply for some grants and, you
And that's
know,
what 126 Main Street is all about, you know, she's interested in the same type of situation that you are, so.
yeah,
And we spoke about that, so.
okay.
I think Todd's working through a group of people, so Todd's the kingpin with trying to get that lined up.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Cooney.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item, appointments. A is the appointment of Mayor Pro Tem.
I'd like to make a motion
Okay,
that I'd like to nominate Mr. Dale Wimberly, Councilman Dale Wimberly, for the Mayor Pro Tem seat.
okay, anybody else? Okay, shall we vote? All in favor? Sign-
You wanna
I need a
ask
second,
him
I'm
if
sorry.
he
Need a
accepts that?
second.
I'll second that motion.
You wanna ask him if he accepts
Dale, you accept it?
Yes.
Accept the nomination?
Yes.
Okay. You got the number? Second. Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
it? Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion
Congrats.
carried.
All right, man.
And also, I'd like to congratulate the former Mayor Pro Tem Zachary.
Thank
No.
you, sir.
Okay. Introduction of ordinances, reports and requests. Letter A, noise complaint from December meeting. Discussion of decibel reading in noise ordinance.
Mr. Vanacore, Mr.
Here,
Vanacore,
Mr. Vanacor's here.
Mr.
Where he
Vanacore.
is?
Right here, Mr. Vanacore. Mr. Ronald here? What happened?
Well,
Oh, okay. Mr. Ronald Carrier is not here?
Not here. Yes, sir. Dale, you want to speak on it?
Tell them about the decibel.
Yeah, I can tell you on your findings.
Can we, unless Councilwoman opposes my suggestion, like we did in last month's meeting, because both parties were not here, to be clear on all the information, I'm again asking that we move this matter till next month, so that we can have both parties here to hear all information.
How
So
many sure
that-
I'm here?
Huh?
How many sure I'm here?
And you know what, Mr. Vanacore, we appreciate you being here tonight, and I'm sure you can appreciate when I say
Oh,
that it's
absolutely,
important that the other party is here, so
Absolutely.
we can hash it out and
No
address it
problem.
with all the information. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Is that okay? That's my motion.
That sounds
We
great.
table. Good deal. Thank you.
I'm here, I'll be here.
Okay, moving on. Letter B, amend the nuisance ordinance, adding 10 days compliance for abandoned vehicles to be moved. I don't know who, Brad again. Can we jump it and go to something else?
He said it was okay to skip around a while ago, so I don't see why we
Let's just move to C. Let's move to C.
Okay.
Let's go to the liquor license.
We'll come back on this. When Brad's on the phone, he says, it's an emergency phone call to make, so. All right, letter C, liquor license exemption for annual Florida de Mardi Gras, organized by the Saddle Tramp Riders Club, February 10th and 11th, received and distribute dates. Do I have a motion to grant Saddle Tramp a liquor license for the Mardi Gras?
I make a motion. Second.
Any questions or discussion? Any questions or discussion from the audience?
You have a time, in the thought? No time limit?
Just the dates.
There's the date.
Anyone? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Pardon?
I got it, Joel.
Go ahead. Okay, letter D, surplus property. A Ford F-150 1998 pickup and a Ford Crown Victoria 2009 police car. Okay, we declare this surplus property. This is what we're looking at. These two vehicles can be seen at the, next to the water plant. They're not in good shape, pretty good.
Do they run?
The truck, no, the truck, I don't think anything runs.
I don't know about the car.
No, I don't, the last time, no. But I mean, it could be used a battery or something like that. No, just an old police unit that's been, banged up a little bit. They took out the cage and seats are pretty messed up.
I'm gonna move that we declare that Ford F-150 and the 2009 Ford Crown Vic surplus property.
I'll second that.
Discussion, we're just declaring it, so.
We
Surplus,
just declared
right.
it right.
Any discussion or comments? Discussion or
Put in
comments?
the paper when it comes on,
Yes, it's
advertise.
we'll advertise and open the bids at the next, possibly the next week. I'll fill in the bids.
She's not living without talking to her.
Bids will be opened up for a meeting. In other words, not before, at the meeting.
That's good.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Okay, next item, Dear Presbyterian report, Mr. Fonte?
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I want to thank everybody who attended our Christmas caroling back in December. Right before Christmas, we had the participation of 4 different churches in town and their choirs, and I believe everybody had a good time, especially kids who saw Santa Claus that night. And we move on now, and we're going to be decorating for Mardi Gras. I invite each and every one of you to our open house on Mardi Gras Sunday, which will provide a very nice, quieter location to see the parade if you so choose. It comes around the backside. Hope all 30,000 don't show up at the time. But anyway, I'd also like to publicly thank John Larson for having installed our little plaque, which we're very proud of, showing that the building is on the National Register of Historical Places, and so be sure to come by and see that. And as the spring goes forward, we're looking forward to applying for nonprofit organization status, sprucing up and repairing the exterior of the building. I'm also happy to report that the water pipes didn't freeze and the heater still works, so that's always nice. And lastly, more than once I've attended meetings which explored the idea of a designated cultural district in Church Point, which would help in the preservation of other buildings with tax incentives and so forth. And also, even on a residential idea, the designation of portions of our town as historical district, which actually give tax credits to homeowners who seek to keep their property up to date. Hoping that we will make progress, and I'm not in charge of that, but I've attended a couple of meetings, and I'm hoping in this, as the years go by, we'll make progress, and that would be really cool to have a historical district in Church Point, as they have in Crowley and so forth. So thank you again for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Fonte. Okay. Okay, we'll go back now, Brad's back, to letter B, amend nuisance ordinance, adding 10 days compliance for abandoned vehicles to be moved.
It's just some language, Mayor, to clean up the ordinance, make it a lot easier to enforce for these junk vehicles in town, any trash, anything that's considered trash, 10 days to pick it up, and put a sticker on your door or on your car. And the language you see in here is scratched out, that's the amendments, the red stuff was added, and that's it. You have to set it for a public hearing before the next meeting. It's only an introduction, yes, only an introduction, yes. Everybody has a copy of this?
I got the noise.
And Brad, you basically, because it says the language in red, so you're basically defining junk vehicle.
Yeah, it cleans it up a lot. It was very convoluted, it was sloppy, I didn't like it. So I just decided to change the language, more similar to state law. You might need one? They don't need one outside?
You gave me the noise on it. That's it. I have an extra copy if you need. Oh, he's got one.
This is the introduction of the
Introduction of an amendment to ordinance number 026017, I think it is. No, I've written down. I think
Right,
that's the number.
020617.
And the language in there is just what I suggested, it's changed. That's why we have a public hearing next month, so the public can have their input. You can have your input of what you want in your ordinance, because you're a legislative body, not me. It's a recommendation by me. So look at it, bring it home, take a look at it, see what you think. If you want to change some things, add some things, let us know at the next public hearing, we'll change it up. And majority rules, minority abides when they vote. That's it. Pretty simple.
Okay, which one, public hearing, 6:50.
No, not introduction, not necessarily.
No. What's the next date?
You got a calendar on it? First Monday of February is. Should be the 4th of the 6th. February 6th. February 5th.
February the 5th?
February 5th, at 6:50.
All right. Public hearing will be held February the 5th at 6:15, prior to our regular meeting. Okay? February 5th.
Mayor, before we move on to something else, if I may, if I'm not out of line, can I, since we're talking about ordinances, may I make a suggestion, and this is actually to the council, because I think moving forward in this new year, we're going to be dealing with more issues with the building inspection, and Mr. Richard, I think, is doing a great job. By the same token, I think we need to also be prepared to deal with some of the structures that are going to be under historical status. And so what I'm asking my fellow council members is to seriously consider when someone comes before the council, and especially if they've said that they've already begun the process to determine if their property is possibly a historical monument, that's important to the community in terms of history, value, et cetera, et cetera. My suggestion is that we consider giving these individuals extra or whatever amount of time, allotted time they need to get it up to code per the historic district. Because the Historic Society is going to make certain expectations versus what we might suggest. That's what I'm asking.
As long as it's, there's no
Under
safety.
safety issues.
Right, and he addressed that earlier when he said with the, right,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
absolutely, as long as there are no safety issues. But again, the other part is considering.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
Okay. That's moving on, I think the letter E announced by myself. Of course, February, Mardi Gras is February the 10th and 11th. Make it safe. We have children's Mardi Gras on the 10th, I believe, and the adult on the 11th. So let's make it safe as possible, okay? Recently, we handed out our Christmas baskets to the needy, and we ended up with 25 baskets. And we handed these out, and I think for Thanksgiving, basically about 15 we had baskets that we handed out. So, and I'm gonna tell you, they were very appreciative of it, because a lot of them I delivered myself, and they were just like, thank you so much, okay? And a special thanks to, of course, the town, Mr. Rod Dogerow and Mr. John Kelly and Piggly Wiggly. They really supported us in this drive because they set out food baskets, carts, and collected the goods for them, okay? So thank you for that. And I appreciate everyone coming out tonight, and have a happy new year, okay? And I hope y'all enjoy the new seating arrangement. It's something to start the new year, okay? All right. Next, Chief. Anything?
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Come
Wish everyone had a happy new year, and please, y'all, stay out of the weather, because I tell you, I've been fighting it for almost 2 weeks now. Please take care of yourself out there, and please showing around. Thank y'all.
Mr. Wembley.
Thanks everybody for coming, and I'm looking forward to serving as your mayor pro tem.
Mr. Duplichan.
Thanks for coming, and I think most of the family of the Babineau family left, but my condolences go out to them, and hopefully we make an extra effort on cleaning this up. You know, it's hard to see a family come to a city council to get some answers and get some things resolved, but I know there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes, and hopefully we can get this thing solved. Just wanted to say that. I feel sorry for those people.
His mom is she's about to come there. She's still here. Yeah, she's right.
I, the same, the Babineau family, held in my heart, in my thoughts and prayers, and I'm really hoping that there can be some answers
Me
for
too,
y'all
because-
soon, and I can only
this
begin to think.
This is something my mother never, ever wanted to hear. Somebody come knock to your door and tell you your child got killed. And it's 6 months. It's time. First of all, this is how I feel. When the detective came, meet me, I never ever listened to nothing nobody told me on the street. Never. I only went with what the detective told me. Here a month later, I'm walking, the detective stopped and tell me he's no longer the detective. But nobody came to my house to tell me that there's no more detective, no more working on my child case. That felt just as bad as when they came to tell me my child got killed.
Totally understand that. I'm so sorry.
And I don't think that was right at all. Somebody could have came tell me that the detective wasn't working on my child case. So I felt like nobody's doing nothing. It's just Another closed case.
And not just that, they asked for statements. I gave a statement. They wanted questions answered.
Get out of here.
I answered questions.
I'll go to jail.
He brought me to the police station. He dropped me off and left me. I stayed to the police station 3 hours by myself, just sitting there writing statements, not talking to nobody. Nobody's come and interview me. Nobody's asking me anything. I left walking because I got frustrated and I was mad because nothing was getting done about my cousin. And it's sad. They left me in that room for 3 hours by myself. Nobody come ask me anything. I gave statements after statements. I answered questions after questions. I never was interviewed since that day. He told me they were gonna come back. When I left, I went right back to the scene and I told him, I said I left because nobody came to talk to me or do nothing about it. He took my number and my name down. He told me he was gonna come to my house and talk to me and help me. He never did nothing. The next day, the names that I gave him, those people came to my house on my porch asking me questions. I have 2 daughters. I go to the police station more than one time at night asking for them to patrol around my house to make sure that me and my kids were safe. And nobody still never did nothing about it. 6 months later, still nobody never called me. Still nobody never come ask me questions. Still nobody never came to my house. I gave my name, my address, and my number. I never changed my number. Still never got one phone call for what I gave, the statements and everything. Nothing's been done.
Again, yes, I'm totally sorry about that for the whole Babineau family. Put your faith in God
And I have daughters. There was nobody there to protect me and my daughters. I have a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I am 21 years old. Those people came to my house and were asking me questions. I called the cops. Still, nobody came. They came that night. They never came that day I called to tell them when I told them that those people came to my house.
y'all get some answers soon, doesn't change anything, so again, thoughts and prayers to the family. I want to congratulate Mr. Dale on his new seat. And I have to say that the town has looked really good. I walk and ride down Main Street and see all the flags and the things that people have done with different holidays and different things, and it really, really looks nice, and I know that it's a lot of people's efforts that it takes for that. And I absolutely love the seating to where we can see people talking to us and feel like we can address you better and understand and hear you better. And happy, healthy, prosperous New Year to everyone.
I see Greg pretty clear.
Well, it's nice that he's on that end and the podium is on this end now.
Right.
So now he can, we can see him address.
He's tall.
Yeah.
Kind of hangs above. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. Mr. G?
Yeah, thanking again everyone for coming. Happy New Year's to everyone. I have a quick announcement. Thank you, Mr. Bellart. Mr. Bellart would like everyone to know that the fire department meeting will be held this Thursday. Fire district, thank you, sir. Fire district meeting will be held this Thursday at 5:30 at the fire station. And I guess actually my final thoughts are this is actually ending on a rather heavy-hearted note for me, because I think in all the years that I've served as city councilman, this is actually the first time that a family came and was pleading before the council in what was obviously anguish and their cry for help. And admittedly, this is also the first time that I kind of feel somewhat ineffective as a councilman, because the crime did occur in my district, and I would feel the same way if it occurred in anyone else's district, because loss of a loved one, especially through murder, is never easy. So my prayers, the rest of us, my prayer certainly goes out to the family, and my hope is that, again, we can come together as a community Because we get more done that way and solve this dreadful problem. Thank you.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
I do so move.
I second. Go Georgia.
All in favor, signify by. Opposed, nay. Motion carried.